Around the time this video releases, Marvel Rivals has recently turned 1 year old.
Can you believe it, guys?
Get that vehicle moving again!
Which is wild to me. I think we all remember how it felt to log into the game on day 1 way back when, and it's kind of insane to me how nostalgic the game feels now despite still feeling young. Part of what makes this game so amazing and lasting is a unique art style, which has given us some incredible designs, but also some not so incredible. Last time I did this video idea, back in January, I only covered the 33 characters that were at launch. But now I'm covering a whopping 45 as of Season 5. So this video might be longer than I like it to be, meaning extra work is gonna go into it, yay. So please hype the video and like and subscribe and all that jazz. Let's get started. Disclaimer, this is all my opinion. Adam Warlock. Originally I did give this design a lot of props, but honestly while it is a decent design, I do think its flaws are glaringly apparent. All of the red is moved over to his cape, meaning on the front, he's kind of plain with just the red on his shoulders and the black on his pants. They could have at least made the inside of the cape red too, but it just comes off as bland because of the dull gray. I also prefer deeper red, which is why I like the Blood, Soul, and Volume 3 costumes in that aspect. I will say the detail in his gold-plated skin is nice, without feeling like over-design, instead looking more like an armored shell. Overall though, it's alright, 7 out of 10. Angela. Oh. Well, this is something. Angela isn't a character I'm too familiar with, but from what I do know, she typically has the average female build in the comics, so I'm really glad they made her freaking huge and muscular. Not only does it make her, well, attractive, and I'm not afraid to say it, but it helps give the impression that this is a force to be reckoned with, and puts her on par with Thor, even if she is incredibly annoying to listen to in-game.
The hand of heaven is here. Show some respect.
No.
The scars and rugged look to the rest of the outfit are nice, and give the impression that this is a hardened warrior. Not much else to say since it's just a buff version of her ordinary design, so 7.5 out of 10. Black Panther. Yeah, I gotta be honest, over time I've started to feel like this design is kinda lacking. I mean, for a King of the Stars, you'd expect more detail to be put into it, but it's just a black bodysuit with minor gold details. The gold feels muted and it hurts the design a lot. I wish it was more similar to the 2016 MCU suit. I don't know, I just feel like this suit needed more time to cook in the oven, but maybe it's just a me thing. 6 out of 10. Black Widow. Originally, I quite liked this look for Widow, maybe a little too much. Now though, it's just okay to me. While the black and red neon look is cool, the legs on the front and especially the back don't have a lot to them, but it's not that big of a deal I suppose. I do like the unique hairstyle. I think this is just a fine design all things considered, 7 out of 10. Blade. Oh hell yeah. By far one of my favorite base skins in this game. The trench coat jacket, the black and red color scheme, the dreads with the shades, and the gold hilted swords all make this a very cool costume. I like that they do have some different elements to what we're used to, while keeping it consistent with the character's conceptual look in the comics. It's one of the best blade designs out there in my opinion. If I had to change anything, I'd probably add facial hair and make the trench coat cover the forearms to make it perfect. Though, otherwise it's as fine as is. It's a 9 out of 10 design. Bruce Banner. Now, this is 3 different designs. Bruce Banner, Hero Hulk, and Monster Hulk. Bruce, other than looking like he's from FedEx, is a pretty alright design. Hero Hulk is definitely slightly mixed for me. On the one hand, I like how the shirt being purple means the ripped parts fold over the pants, like it would normally be the pants that are purple, but then you have things like his hair being that.
That's still gonna be $30. Huh? $30?
I've heard theories that this was originally going to be Amadeus Cho and not Bruce, but regardless if those are true, this hair doesn't fit this Hulk at all, and I'm not 100% sure I enjoy the body style he has. It feels weirdly imbalanced, but I get it though, it's not actually Hulk. Monster Hulk, on the other hand, does fit the typical Hulk style better, albeit a bit bigger. He has the better haircut, the better build, and he quite literally oozes power. Altogether, it's okay. 7 out of 10. Captain America. With the recent Golden Age costume in the Season 4 Battle Pass, it's understandable why one would prefer it over this. However, I still think this costume has its merits. Being a Captain America who woke up in 2099, it makes sense for it to be a futuristic take. The armored look is very nice on the eyes with how the metal reflects it in the light, and the repulsor-esque glowing circles on his hands look cool too. The shield having this holographic glow to it is neat as well. It's a pretty cool future Captain America design if I'm being honest. Solid 8 out of 10 for me. Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger are just Cloak and Dagger in this game. I do find it funny how Cloak is a literal hole and the chain on his arm is neat, but again, it's just Cloak and Dagger, dark and light. The bluish highlights on Dagger are neat though. 7 out of 10. Daredevil. This is by far one of my personal favorite redesigns in Rivals. Daredevil in the story of this game is a vastly different person compared to his ordinary counterpart. He lost everything and became Dizang of the 8th City. but his design keeps the important parts of his Daredevil look, well, with the double D's and the horns on his head. I like that you can see his hair under his mask. It's a detail that wasn't necessary, yet very welcome. The black is a good way to break up the costume, while the more magenta red color is easy on the eyes and goes against Angela's look surprisingly well. Honestly, this is one of my favorite Daredevil designs. 9 out of 10. Doctor Strange. Yeah, this is cool. The black outfit with the gold highlights is cool and goes along with the classic red cape very nicely. I like how big the eye of Agamotto is and how sharp the cape is. Though if I had any criticisms, I wish his gloves were more distinct. I've always been akin to the blue suit with the black or white highlights and the bright yellow gloves. I kind of feel like that's faded away over time in some modern Strange designs. Still, a decent design and fitting for the Sorcerer Supreme. 8 out of 10. Emma Frost. Oh, hot damn. Okay, thighs aside because, by the Elder Gods! This costume is cool, but flawed. For one, while I do like the blue colors added and the diamonds on the outfit, I can't help but feel like it's not entirely fitting for her. Specifically these pauldrons to make her seem proportionate, and I don't like the coattails either. They feel weirdly out of place and are kind of an eyesore. I like when Emma has this fur cape on her instead of either of these. The X's on the boots and the back are pretty cool though, I won't lie. And I like the unique hairstyle as well. Overall, while I like the take on her, I do hope we get an actual White Queen outfit someday. Then again, it'd probably make NetEase too much money and crash the servers. Despite my nitpicks, I still think this is a 7.5 out of 10 design. Gambit. You know how long I've been waiting for this? While I like the liberties taken with some designs, I don't mind when they stay true to the original look. In this case, it's mostly the same to how Gambit typically looks in most media adaptations, though a few changes have been made to stylize it. The purple is brighter and more pinkish compared to other takes like Deadpool and Wolverine, and his silver boots now have X's on the knee pads. The trench coat having rips near the bottom is honestly pretty cool, and I love how vibrant his hair and red eyes are. The staff also has card symbols on it. I will say though, this is the second trenchcoat character that I can think of with the sleeves rolled up. I'm not sure why the forearms are so important to the developers, but hey, the tattoos he has are cool. Though, like we'll see with Phoenix and her freckles, Gambit lacks his facial hair. What a pity. Overall, he's made a name for himself here. 8 out of 10. Groot. I mean, it's Groot. You can't mess up a walking tree. I do like the glowing green throughout his whole body, the details of some plant life on him like mushrooms, and how sharp and bulky he looks. Other than that, he is Groot. 8 out of 10. Hawkeye. This is peak, there is no question about it. Genuinely such a sick design for such an underrated character. The mask, the scarf/hood, the bright purple armor, it's just so cool. They even made his hair awesome too. Hell yeah. 9 out of 10. Hela. Despite just being, well, Hela, I do like details like her cape being animated fire, while the green is more of an emerald green, and the sharpness of her armor makes her look all the more menacing. I do think it looks a bit much sometimes. I like the sleekness she has in the movie more, even if it fits her to have more edgy parts to her armor. It's still cool. 8 out of 10. Jeez, a lot of 8s over here, huh? Human Torch. Yeah, I'm not feeling this. Look, I don't mind the white with blue instead of the black, and as we'll see in the upcoming character, it can look good, but this isn't one of those cases. While the render does make the blue look good, the actual look in-game, because of the fact Johnny is on fire, makes the blue look more muted. It doesn't help that the white overtakes the blue anyway, especially on the legs, because for some reason, they put the blue only on the back of the legs. I don't vibe with it. 5 out of 10. Invisible Woman. Now this is how you make the blue and white combo shine, even if she's one of 3 white blonde women that have this color scheme. Seriously though, the blue is vibrant and feels equal to the amount of white. The earrings are neat too, and I like the weird orbs on her shoulders and her belt buckle. It's a really good design overall, but I still prefer the black, so I'll give this an 8 out of 10. Seriously, why are so many of these the same number? Iron Fist. I think I like this for what it is, but I don't know if I like it. The green having a bluer hue is nice, plus the red and gold used makes for a sick combo. I just feel like the normal Iron Fist designs in the comics have smoother looks. It's an okay design, but there's cooler skins for him. 7 out of 10. Iron Man. As an Iron Man main, I don't think I've ever really worn the default skin, instead mostly playing with the Model 42 recolor or the Blood Edge outfit, which in my opinion is still his best skin. The default is still cool though. You can tell it takes inspiration from multiple armors like the original Bleeding Edge and the nanotech suits in the MCU. I like the gold on the biceps and the chest reactor, and the way the blue glows and flows throughout the whole armor and how shiny and bright the red looks. I do wish the helmet looked less jagged and the gold on the legs covered the thigh rather than staying only on the knee pads. Other than that, this is a pretty alright skin. 7 out of 10 for me. Jeff the Land Shark. It's Jeff. That's it. I mean, he's bigger than normal than in the comics because of all the junk he ate, and the collar is a neat addition. Other than that, well, his name is Jeff, and he got toe beans. 7 out of 10. Yeah, I gave the shark a 7. Bite me. Yeah! Not literally, Jeff. Loki. While this is pretty simple, I do like the minor stuff they added for Loki, from the furry mantle to the more defined green and gold color scheme, plus the additional highlights in dark blue. It fits his role being the current king of Asgard. 8 out of 10. Luna Snow. At first glance, this looks a tad bit over-designed, but the more I look at it, the less I think that. The colors all balance together very nicely, the black leggings, the white shorts, the blue and white top with the black jacket, it all looks very cool, no pun intended. The ice on her arms is pretty cool too, and I like how her eyes have heterochromia. The outfit is pretty nice for someone who's both a K-pop star and a superhero, and looks miles better than her original outfit from Future Fight. Solid 8 out of 10 for me. Again with the 8s! When will it end? Magic. Magic's never really been a character I care about too much, but I'd say this design still looks cool. I like the spikes and gothic aesthetic with the whole post-apocalyptic vibe she's got going on, which makes sense considering she's the ruler of Limbo. I do think in some cases it falls under the problem of random junk on the body that many Apocalypse designs have for characters, but it's not too much, just some weird straps here and there. Her Darkchild form is pretty cool too, though I got nothing major to say about it other than that. Though I will say I wish she had some more muscle, not to Angela's level of course. Anyways, with all that in mind, I give this a 7 out of 10. Magneto. Originally, I didn't like how plain this design felt, but over time it's definitely grown on me a little. I know many think mostly silver and white can look plain, but I've always had a soft spot for that shiny, clean aesthetic. It's probably because of the red highlights that help it stand out a bit. However, that doesn't mean I don't think it's still a bit boring and flawed. While the silver is fitting for the game as if Magneto is shedding his old colors, I do wish more red was used to break it up a bit. The random X hanging from his right pec is also weird. I would have preferred it to be a logo on his chest. I do like the older Magneto look and how the metal circle looks behind him, but overall, it's just okay to me. Fresh Start Magneto is an interesting concept, but aside from what it's trying to be, the design is a 6.5 out of 10. Mantis. I like how they made her outfit look more organic and plant-like. It's a neat addition, and the stylized look helps make Mantis pop off in these colors. I will say that the weird leaf stuff on the hands looks oversized, and I feel like they could have found a way to make it look nicer. It's a simple design, but one that doesn't harm anyone. However, the normal eyes over the black bug eyes kinda annoys me. 7 out of 10. Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I like how lean he is and the older look he has to him, what with the beard and the classic gray streaks on either side of his hair. I do feel like these Fantastic Four designs can be a bit over-designed with the random lines and stuff, but it's not terrible. It's a cool, dare I say, fantastic design. Moon Knight.
Minions! Tonight, we steal
The moon!
Yeah, this is killer. I'm surprised by how good the white mask looks instead of the plain black, cause it's pretty gnarly. The onyx on the knee pads would normally be a case of over-design, but to me, it doesn't feel that way. The sharpness of the shoulders and arms make him look really cool. There's genuinely nothing I think is too wrong with this design, even the random lines don't look out of place, at least to me. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. Namor. I definitely prefer this over the, well, Speedo. The dark blue and the coral armor stuff is honestly pretty neat. His trident is also pretty cool as well. His weird yellow streak of hair doesn't look very good though, at least in my opinion, but other than that, I do like how oceanic he looks. It's pretty cool, but I still do think the hair brings it down. 7 out of 10. Penny Parker. Yeah, I've always preferred the red and gold over the red and blue that appeared in the first Spider-Verse movie. It just looks more distinct and pretty cool if I do say so myself. I say cool a lot in this, huh? I like the details like stickers on parts of Spider, how big the shoulders are, and how sharp the chest plate is. Penny herself looks fine, you know, average mech pilot bodysuit, and the overall design is very anime-esque, but not in the way that feels out of place in the game. I give this an 8 out of 10. Phoenix. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this design. It looks fine at first glance, but once you get the full look at it, you realize how ugly it looks. For one, the green on the legs is nowhere on the torso aside from the shoulders, which would be fine if there was some color balance, but there's not enough, unfortunately. The torso in particular is just really weird. Like, what exactly is it supposed to be? Obviously something organic, but it just looks so weird to me. The body from above the waist is definitely where the design is the weakest in my opinion. It's so off-putting how nothing really feels connected or balanced. Like the weird band she has at her side, and her dark phoenix skin is tied to a belt, but in the default it's just hanging there, it looks so off. And also, bit of a nitpick, but where are her freckles? She has them in the trailer in the background, but on her actual model they're nowhere to be found. Why? They're literally just dots on a face. Did they forget to change it in the other stuff, or did they just forget to add it to her face? Oh, and I guess the actual Phoenix Force spirit looks like a naked woman of fire. What else can I say? Overall, it's a matte design. It works better in these colors, though, and I wouldn't give it this decent of a rating if it was one of the recolors, even if they balance the colors better. 6 out of 10. Psylocke. I don't think I've ever seen a single person wear the default skin, even back in Season 0. It was mostly just the Vengeance skin, which, ass aside, this is meant to be a classic Psylocke and the one most people are familiar with. But the default skin is pretty decent. It's a tad bit over-designed, but I kinda like the scarf mask, and I dig the ponytail she's got going on. The scarf also has this cool butterfly effect coming off of it that I haven't really seen on her other skins, but there's not much of note otherwise, though the colors do help to keep this interesting. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I like it, but she has better outfits. Rocky Raccoon. I hate this. Okay, well, hate is a strong word, but my thoughts on it haven't changed much since the original video. I just don't like the bright blue armor and the stupid looking mohawk. The red eyes are fine, I guess. They're comic accurate, which is cool. I just prefer the dirty orange he has in more modern adaptations. He does have a big ass gun though, and I'll give him props for that, even if it's not really that good. But it's just, the overall design is just so boring to me. Yeah, it's a 5 out of 10.
Rogue. Just like her husband, Gambit, Rogue has a pretty clean, faithful design, albeit with her being, robust. But aside from that, yeah, this is pretty accurate. The jacket is pretty cool and iconic, and her hair is, oddly enough, my favorite part of the design. Mostly cause it looks beautiful on her. Not much else to say other than that. Gambit never folds unless it's his wife. 8 out of 10.
Scarlet Witch. I mean, she's Scarlet, and she's a witch. Scarlet Witch. I will say I like how the silver highlights look against the crimson red, but again, it's just stylized Scarlet Witch. Can't hate it. The red pops off really well though, so 7.5 out of 10. Spider-Man. Classic Spider-Man suit remakes are pretty common nowadays. It's the only reason I get why people want more of the actual classic suit, even if I myself do not care for it enough to want it, though with Man Spider out now, we have to get one now. But anyways, this one isn't advanced suits levels of good, but it's still pretty good. It looked pretty bad in the alpha, but here I quite like how the black is spread throughout the entire suit without being all over the place. Spider going around the shoulders is honestly pretty cool visually. If I had to criticize it in some places, it looks weird below the waist, I guess. I'm not PSM, I don't have time to be critical over one character when the video is already as long as it is. 7.5 out of 10. Squirrel Girl. Okay, she's pretty adorable and cool at the same time. Same goes for Tippy Toe. I like how the squirrel features are done here without looking like the spawn of Mephisto. The ears look neat and the tail is bushy and huge, and I like her 4C vibe she gives off. Also, she has a sideways acorn as her belt buckle. I didn't notice that before. They don't call her unbeatable for nothing, so 8 out of 10. Star-Lord. Now this is how you do a blend of the past and present. The classic blue and gold combo plus the modern costume design mix for a killer redesign for the legendary Star-Lord. I like the Guardians logo he has on the chest and the back of his jacket. I also just dig the blue on his jacket in general. It's a very pleasing color. However, I wish the color spread to his legs because if you look at the red recolor, it changes the color of his knee pads and gives us more variation. Still, I don't mind it. It's a nice skin all things considered. 8 out of 10. Storm. Storm has had 7 skins since the game's released, 4 of those being free. So much so that the default starts to look mid in comparison. I don't think it's terrible, but it doesn't really feel special. It has the iconic Storm cape and the hairstyle seen occasionally, but things like the dull colors and the way the X is placed on her chest kind of bring this down for me. Not nearly enough gold is used in this costume, instead being placed in weird areas, like these lines on her legs and her forearms for some reason. It's just a nothing burger for me. Her hair is neat though, 6.5 out of 10. The Punisher. Oh boy, not this again. Let me tell you something. While I've hated this costume less compared to when I originally ranked it, I still greatly dislike it. Mostly because the face paint doesn't fit Frank Castle at all, at least to me, and comes off as something Nuke would do. The rest of it is fine, I guess. I prefer blacker colors on Punisher, but I suppose the military gear is fine. However, where my main issue lies is the setting. See, Punisher in this game lasted up to 2099, and sure, in-game, his turret and ultimate appear with nanotech or something, but the actual design is just so mediocre and generic. Sure, Punisher doesn't have the most exciting designs, but at least they have something to them. This just doesn't. There is nothing to care about with this outfit. He's so incredibly boring like this. I would have preferred something like the Thunderbolts outfit since it's not 100% futuristic but still feels advanced. Honestly, I just don't like this at all. 4 out of 10. Hey, you want to know what I think of my fabulous look? Well, let's take a look-see here. My rocks are sharper than ever. I got these nice marks where my wrists would be. I got this sleek new belt. And I got the greatest chin known to man. Nothing beats Yancey Street. 8.5 out of 10. Thor. I like how buff rivals made some of the men in this game. It's pretty damn cool. If it would work on anyone best though, Thor would be up there. I love the Destroyer-esque arms he has, how Mjolnir is cast in this black and blue color scheme, and how big his beard and hair are. The winged helmet is also a nice touch. That being said, I do wish more red was on the suit other than the arms. I also feel like he kinda needed a cape, because it's just such an iconic part of Thor that it would probably complete this design. I mean, just look at his classic outfit. It's probably my favorite Thor skin in the game, unironically, and that's mostly because of how cool the cape looks. It helps make him look mighty. Other than that though, it's a solid 7 out of 10. Ultron. I mean, it's Ultron. Hard to mess it up. I will say the darker gray and the sleeker build helped to make this distinct. It's just a design that works. I just like how his other looks, well, look. 8 out of 10. Venom.
Ah yes, our perfect design, our defined musculature, our sharp features, our beauteous buttocks. This cannot be beat. We are Venom. You are insignificant. 10 out of 10.
Winter Soldier.
While the tactical black is fitting for an assassin, a Bucky that's on his way to redemption is pretty cool too. The military green helps in appreciating the details like the fur on the inside of his jacket or the red on his knee pads. And the mask is so freaking cool, dude. I like the scar on his eye, though I do wish he had a couple more in some places to show his age and stuff. It's not a crazy good design, but I take it all things considered, even if I do prefer the darker colors he usually has. 7.5 out of 10. Wolverine. Honestly, a year later, you'd think this would have grown on me by now, but nah, this is still hot ass to me. Look, I can see that they wanted to go with something unique, and there's nothing wrong with making something new and fresh, but it's just such a bad design overall that poorly fits the character of Wolverine. The shoes are such an eyesore and by far the worst part of this. Don't let that distract you from the stupid jacket though, or the weird hair that doesn't look nearly as good as his normal hairstyles. I just don't get why they would try to mimic a classic Wolverine costume without giving him an actual Wolverine costume. I do like that he's his accurate height and the dog tags from his neck and the hair on his arms, but the outfit is so ass it's hard to appreciate anything. I'm sorry, but I doubt I'll ever like this design at all. 3 out of 10. Worst default skin in the game by far. Okay, with that little rant I just had, that concludes the video. Keep in mind, all this was just my opinion, and I don't actually get all up in arms about stuff like this, it's just all for laughs. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and be sure to let me know your take on some of these designs. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day.